Hey, what's up? Black Mamba here. Roster review for DevilzAdvok8. um, I'm curious how this Darth Revan team is doing with Grievous as well. I gotta be honest, I've never seen that before. But you're 38. Maybe it was experimental. Maybe it's just today. I don't know. Maybe it works for you. Um, but that is rather interesting. Let's see here. Good looking roster. Lots of Zetas. Lots of Gear 12. Some Zetas I see for suggestions, and a lot of Rebels. 4.2 mil roster. Just gonna go by speed here really quick. Darth Revan's your fastest with 140. That's a good speed set. Jedi Revan's second, 128. Then Yoda. I just want to see this really quick. Offense and potency. Okay, 121. So your arena team is Darth Revan and Grievous. Okay. Really quick right off the bat, I'm just going to suggest that Darth or Bastila Fallen should have your absolute fastest mod set. I know a lot of people like to have offense and potency on here. I've seen it quite a bit. Because 7,400 is always nice to have. It's a lot of damage. But the faster she goes, the easier mirror matches are. Typically, whoever has the fastest Bastila Fallen has like a 90% chance to win the match. It's almost a guarantee. So just a recommendation to move your fastest mod set to her and see how you do. You might see a difference. Bounty hunters, not necessary, but I'd recommend running Django lead. I see you have crit damage, crit chance on him. 78 speed, not too bad, not too bad. I would mod him for speed though. You want him to be fast. Opening up with conflagration is very important. Tenacity and health for him. Or sorry, tenacity and speed is what I meant to say. So you want him also to be fast. Those two are kind of required to be fast because faster he goes, quicker he gets to be taunt out. With protection or tenacity. This should be protection, and this should be protection, and this should be tenacity. Rule of thumb: I try to suggest every mod equipped to a character that you're using, whether that be GA, TW, Grand Arena. Should have a +10 speed mod minimum on every single mod. I mean, like this should have +10, that +10, this +10. Just suggestion. He should probably be modded for crit damage and crit chance. He's a lot of times the biggest damage dealer of the bounty hunters, except for Django. Django's better damage dealer. Mainly because of this. And he likes to double tap as well. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say if you're using him, crit chance and potency is perfect for him. Probably just a little bit faster speed though. I'd say +80, 75 is bare minimum. Not too much to adjust. You could probably find it somewhere in here. Like, boom, there you go. Add 10 speed to here and add 5 speed to there, and there you go. There's 15 speed, and you're back where you should be. Clone Troopers, I see you're getting set for Lightside TB. They just announced clone reworks. We'll see what they're going to do with those, but it looks like you're all set and ready for them. Have you been working on Grievous? Of course, because he's on your arena team. You have full offense. I would suggest a health primary on his arrow with Speed in the secondaries, probably plus 10 bare minimum. Try to shoot for plus 15 if you can. They're not that common, but that's kind of a suggestion. Health plus 17, man, that's a good mod. Health plus 11, that works. And health plus 10, that also works. 17, nice. And 17, dude, he's probably, yeah. If you get this to health with like a plus 10 or plus 15, you're sitting pretty with Grievous. I like it. Really like it. I recommend, let's see. Yeah, I recommend the B2 Zeta, by the way. It's very essential to the team. I'm glad you have B1 Zeta and Gear 12 already. I recommend switching all your offense mods to speed set because the more often he goes, the more times he gets to heal his allies. You can use this offense set for another suggested offensive character. He thrives off speed because more often he goes, he gets to heal a target ally. I'll talk about BB-8 and R2 and C-3PO and their respective factions. I like to see, I'm glad you have the L-337 Gear 12. She's very versatile and plug-and-play tank in a lot of places. That's fine modding wise. She doesn't need to be all that fast, but I see you have her with a decent mod set. But glad you have her Gear 12. Great plug-and-play character. Droideka, offense, beautiful with health. You have speed. You have very little. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so less speed the better. Closer to 0 the better. With offense here. Okay, so you can get rid of the 5 speed. Make this, keep the offense base, but change the primary to offense here. And change this to an offense primary as well. Keep the offense. You don't necessarily have to find a new mod, but if you can find a mod that has offense in the secondary, that'd be appropriate. And then this is a perfectly fine mod. It's got 74 offense, that's good. This is fine. I mean, 3 speed's not a whole lot, so it's not that big of a deal if it's in there. But of course, look for some offense secondaries, and then try to replace this with an offense secondary mod as well. I mean, everything's perfect except for, get rid of the speed and add some base offense here. So you're almost there. Like, the speed is almost there. This set won't take too much work to do. Zeta's not mandatory for Droideka, but it's a good. I like the Zeta personally, but it's not mandatory for the team. B2 is definitely mandatory for the team. Just tanky. Make this guy as tanky as possible. Speed's not essential. You can bring it down all the way to 50 if you need to swap out speed for some protection. I'd recommend protection on this arrow, protection here, protection and protection. Just as tanky as you can get him. I recommend 4 defense mods and 2 tenacity is what I would suggest. Zeta is not required on him. You must love Empire because this is gorgeous. I like to see fast Thrawns. 93 is okay. I suggest getting him above 100 added speed. 110 is a good shooting spot. I mean, and you have health and tenacity on him. Imagine if you put actual speed mods on him. The reason he should honestly be a top 5 character of speed in your roster. He's exceptional at plug and play. You can put him on any team in the whole game, and he'll work. Probably except for a Grievous team. Who knows? That might even work. But the reason for that is because of fracture and turn meter swap and everything. But just give him a speed set, see how he does. Palpatine, you mod it for health and potency, that's fine. 86 speed's fine. Yeah, this will work. This will work just fine for him. Have you ever tried these guys out in in GA. If you haven't, so Colonel Stark you want to be fast, and then open up with this. So faster he goes, quicker everybody else gets turn meter, and then you can get the train roll in there. But I mean, you have all the gear and star levels for it. You might as well get the modding right, because then you can take out Night Sisters, you can take out Bounty Hunters. Man, you almost got your troopers all set. So I'd recommend getting Colonel Stark up, and the rest with some offense or crit damage sets, and then trooper with some tanky mods, because your team's almost done. I recommend speed and potency instead of health and potency. He works really well with a lot of speed, because opening up with Force Crush gives a lot of turn meter to Palpatine. This should be crit damage, which you have. You can also do speed with crit chance, because it's really unfortunate when somebody throws a blade and it doesn't crit. So crit chance is always a recommendation for him as well. But plus 100 speed, 110 speed is ideal. Gotta love the Murder Bears. 64 speed. They do get a lot of bonus turn meters, so they don't need a whole lot. Depending on if and where you're using them, I recommend probably plus 70 or 75 like here for the characters. But if you're using them in GA, they should have some decent mods. If you're not, then that's fine where they are right now. Your first order look terrific. First order officer should be your fastest character on your first order team. Recommend over additional 100 speed. All these mod suggestions obviously are dependent on your roster mod selection. But I mean, if you don't have all these sets, I highly recommend fully going in and mod farming them, doing 50 times 3 refreshes on the mod store, or not mod store, mod challenges with the speed sets. Get some speed mods. Sell the ones that don't have speed secondaries. Slice the ones that do. It takes a long time, but I highly recommend it. The reason why you want him to be fast and fastest is because of turn meter swap. You can swap it to anybody on the team, and they get to start out and do whatever they want. Let's see. You have health and tenacity, which is okay. This works. This would work for him. You have a decent amount of health. You have a lot of protection, which is good. Try to get his speed up, probably plus 15 more. You can probably add that somewhere. Yeah, plus 7, plus 8. So you have a lot of plus 7s and plus 8s. You get those to plus 10s, plus 11s. It adds up per slot, which should get you to the right spot. Kylo Ren, also pretty speedy. You want it to be like plus 90, plus 95. Because more times he lashes out, more turn meter he gives to his allies. Executioner, full health mods, and you have a lot of crit chance on him. So crit chance isn't a whole lot necessary, because the more times Kylo Ren unmasked is damaged, the more times he hands out advantage. I don't know if that's, I think that's in his unique. Yeah, right there. And every time he's damaged, he gives another first order ally advantage for 2 turns. So advantage is always 100% critical hit. So a lot of the times the rest of his team will get advantage, so he's already going to crit. So it's not necessary to put crit chance on him. I recommend full health mods, all 6 with crit damage here, which you do have. Just add a little bit more speed to him. Plus 80 is fine for him, so just additional more. I see you can add 5 here, 3 here, 3 here. And I mean, it adds up, so yeah. And first order officer, or sorry, stormtrooper, just tanky. Give him tanky set, which you pretty much have. So the reason why you want First Order Officer the fastest is because, let's say he starts out, you can swap turn meter with this ability, give it to anybody on the team. You say you want to give it to Kylo Ren unmasked. You can open up with a stun on anybody you want, which gives him pre-taunt pretty much. And then if you want to give it to Kylo Ren masked, you can open up without last shout, and that gives everybody 25% turn meter, which in turn gives your full team, should be about 100% turn meter, which if you have pretty good mods, all 5 of your First Order will go before the opposing team. So that's that. Do you have Padme? You do at 5 stars. So she's been out for a while. I'm kind of surprised you still have her at 5 stars. I would highly recommend gearing her to gear 11 and giving her both her Zetas. Gear 11 5-star double Zeta is still a monster to deal with, even 5 stars. I know she needs Chirotex, but I can't stress enough how crazy of a character she is. On top of her, I recommend Ahsoka Tano. And her Zeta, I recommend GK's and Anakin's Zeta. It's a pretty Zeta-heavy team, but there's a very good chance they're going to be meta in a very short time, so you might want to invest in Padme soon. Anakin should be, or not Anakin, GK should be very tanky. You have a lot of 6-dot mods on him at 96, lots of protection. That's what I like to see. Speed, defense, you could swap this out for protection. This could also be swapped out for protection as well, and keep this as it is. Suggestion for 6-dot mods. I recommend only 6-dotting mods that have plus 15, 16, or 17 or higher, unless they're very specific and key to a character. Let's say Droideka on his offense has 0 speed, but 135 offense. That would be a perfect mod to 6-dot because it's specific to the character. But this right here is also a good mod to 6-dot because it has 16 speed. That's just an example. But here it's 11 and here is 10. So just a heads up for future. I'd recommend modding her for straight offense or crit damage. She does well with both. Crit damage 99, I like that. It has 10 speed as well. She doesn't need a whole lot of speed because she gets 50 from her unique. Right here. This should be offense. And health or protection. Health probably preferred because of the Padme team. She also gets bonus health, 40%, doubled, which is 80%, plus 50% from Padme lead. So she gets a lot of health. Just a suggestion. 77 speed's fine, by the way, for a speed benchmark. I'm not going to fault you for gear 12ing Mace Windu, because who knows, he could get a rework, could not. And also he's a fleet commander. But let's just say he gets reworked and he's a great fit for the Padme team, then you're all set. Oh, and you should definitely work and make sure you get 7-star Padme, which is most likely going to happen in August. I see you're working on Brood. Keep up the good work. These guys are huge for the GOTB and starting to be very important for GA and TW. Imperial Troopers are already great. We went over them. You get a lot of Jedi. A lot of people like to have a lot of Jedi because Star Wars is known for their Jedi. Plus 128. That's good for him. Offense, I like it. 112 with 15. Okay, so you almost have 6,000 special offense. That's great. You have health. Okay, so you could get this to crit damage or offense. That would help him out a bit. I know this 15 speed's good, but you could probably swap this out for offense or crit damage. And then that's, wow. Great mod for Grandmaster Yoda. Okay. Jolie, full health. Yep, which you do have. Protection. You could probably move this to somebody else that needs this speed because I mean, yeah, speed is always good on characters, but for a 17 speed mod, you could probably move it around. Plus, he needs health primary here, health primary here, and health primary here. It's also a really good mod. You probably have him super fast, 112. The reason why you want him health is because he recovers 30% on his basic. He counters a lot from Bastilishan's, not corrupted, battle meditation, the regular one. And then you also, or allies heal based off 30% of his max health. Everything just has to do with his max health. So, yeah, see, and Jolie has additional. So health on him, by the way. By the way. Hyoda should be fast, speedy. Plus 72 is probably because you have him in a B team or something. I recommend plus 110 as a baseline. A lot of top players have him in the plus 140 range. Obviously, that's not doable for everybody, but he's a good character to have speed on. Let's see. So, do you have her fast? You have her decently fast. 84 is not terrible. It's a good speed. But you want her to be the fastest of the Night Sisters. Offense or crit chance and crit damage, either one works. I see more crit damage nowadays, but offense will work perfectly fine. Probably add a little bit more speed to her though. You're going to want her to be at least plus 80. That's not too far-fetched to get to. No need for Talzin leadership at this point in the game. Maybe later, but right now you're fine not having it. This is fine for speed-wise and potency. You definitely want her to have a lot of special offense, though. So I know you have a health set on her, but try shooting for an offense set for Talzin. And if you're going to shoot for a PvP lineup for Territory War or GA, I recommend Asajj, Talzin, Zombie, Daka, and Spirit. I know you're a long ways away from Spirit, but you're almost done with the star count, which is the longest farm. She's not a terrible farm anyways. She's not a terrible gear to do anyways. So I would recommend getting Spirit into that lineup if you have the resources available. She is one of the backbones of the team, really annoying, highest damage dealer, all sorts of stuff. But when you get her, mod her for offense or speed, either one works. But the offense set should be pretty speedy, probably plus 90 bare minimum. Daka should be modded for full health. You can mod her for speed and potency, but she does have stacking health. Either one works. Either one works. You've got some great Old Republic, all gear 12. I did not see Malik in your roster, but looks like you're going to get him. Should be this month or next month in August. So good luck on that. Hope you get him. You've got a lot of Gear 12 Rebels. You have a good Chase team. Where's your... There she is, Jin. So a lot of people run Jin with Chase. Not necessary, but it's a good backline team for defense. CLS, let's see how you have modded. You have a lot of speed, I can tell. 114, that's great. With crit damage and potency. I like it. QPO should be speedy with potency, which you do have. Oh no, you have tenacity. Huh. Try to get his potency up a bit. You want a lot of confuse. More confuse the better. Crit damage, fantastic. You don't have to change much on him. Let's see. Okay, so I like to see a lot of mixed stats with R2D2 because of his number crunch. He shares a lot of stats, so the more mixtures you have, the better. If you're going to run him with Rebels, obviously, the more offense. Max health. But yeah, good job on R2. Han Solo should be modded for offense. You have a defense set. That's probably for some survivability, I would assume is your goal there. You do have the crit damage set, but you have, okay. Oops, sorry, did I click the wrong thing? Yeah, I did. Huh. I'd recommend offense on this one or potency, either one. He's an attacker. I know you like to have him survive, but you want him to hit really, really hard. He's the hard hitting attacker of the team. You have a Gear 12 finisher on Akbar. I assume that's for Fleet Arena. Is he going to be your first Gear 13? Kind of curious about that. You must get rank 1 in Fleet because that's quite a commitment. All right. You've got a great JTR team. Do you have crit damage and potency? Yes, you do. You crit chance and potency with critical damage. Don't change anything. That works. BB-8 should be very speedy. Plus 100 is a bare minimum, which you do have. Good work. Ray should be hard hitting with tenacity. I like it. A little bit more speed, a little bit more offense. You probably run. Yeah, you can add some speed here. You can run an offense set or tenacity. Let's see. I see you have Holdo at 7 stars. She's starting to become a big character in the Jedi Ray lineups for PvP wise because of her AoE days. It's quite popular. Just an option if you wanted to mix things up. Not necessary, just throwing that out there. Good job. You have 7-star Nest with Zeta. I always like to see it. Tenacity, potency, and health. You have 3 different sets on her. So you're in between for speed and tenacity wise. My recommendation is to have her either very fast or very slow. Medium, she's just kind of in between. It's not one or the other. I recommend slow with a lot of tenacity or fast with obviously a lot of speed. She works both ways. Let's see, do you have L3? You do. Where's Kira that you do? Okay, so Kira, Vandor, Chewie, Young Han, L3. You have a lot of good scoundrels. Young Han Solo. Yeah, you've got a good scoundrel team for some Kira cheese, and I see you have Newt at Gear 12. Man, you might love your scoundrels, dude. I like it. Let me know later on your Kira team what you're using for Grand Arena because you've got quite a bit of options there. So you can send me a PM on that. Just kind of curious what you use. Again, I recommend B2 Zeta, Brood Alpha Zeta when you have the chance. Let's see. I recommend Darth Scion Zeta as well. And I see you only have 1 Zeta for Treya. Kind of interesting. You ever tried, because you don't have the cleanse, wow. Because you don't have the cleanse, have you ever tried a Darth Revan lead with Trey in it? Just kind of curious. Instead of Grievous, since you don't have the cleanse, it's not going to harm the ferocity stacks. The reason why Trey doesn't work is because she cleanses with her Zeta, but since you don't have it, I don't know if you want to give it a shot and try it out. I've always been curious about that. If it doesn't work, I highly recommend her Lord of Betrayal Zeta, as it's so good to have a automatic cleanse on the team. And let's see, how is she modded, by the way? 69 speed. You're gonna want her to be modded for offense or speed. Either one works. She honestly hits like a tidal wave with this ability. Multiple times she will one-shot characters. Isolate's one of the best debuffs in the game. Faster she can land, get that out there, the better. So speed or offense would be my choice and recommendations. You want speed on him. Faster he goes, the better. More success from faster scions. How's your Sith Empire team? So with your Sith Empire, I saw you had Grievous in your arena team. Again, I don't know if that's temporary or permanent, but I recommend as your fifth, either Grandmaster Yoda for the extra tenacity, or Grand Admiral Thrawn as well, and maybe try that Traya in there. I'm kind of curious about it. But if you want to PM me on how the Thrawn matchup works, or how the Grandmaster Yoda edition works, you could climb up a lot in the arena with those lineups. And then swapping Bastila Fallen speed with Darth Revan's, you want Bastila to have your absolute fastest mod set. Let's see. Based off Gear 13s, you have Grievous, Fallen, Darth, Revan, HK, and I think that's it. I would recommend for Gear 13s, you could do, the best options are Celeste, Han Solo, some Grievous lineups. Let's see, where was it? Probably not down here. Hermit, or not Hermit, Grandmaster Yoda. Yeah, pretty much those. Zeta wise, I would say, again, optional Darth Traya, depending on if that situation works, but that second Zeta is phenomenal on Darth Traya. If you want Bastila Shan, the light version, if you want to have two different teams for Grand Arena or Territory War, you can put it on her lead, but it's not mandatory nowadays. Newt, I heard, has a fantastic Zeta on his unique. B2 Zeta for sure, Scion Zeta for sure. Let's see, Anakin Zeta, both for Padme, Brood Alpha, Ahsoka Tano. Those are all good suggestions that I would recommend. Definitely work on your Padme team. That's something that you definitely don't want to be behind on, especially when the meta flips, because I have a feeling it's about to flip. And yeah, you definitely get first every day in Fleet Arena. But good work. Not too much to work on. Very interesting arena team. I like it. It makes me smile. But good job.